My name is Sam. We lived in Texas. I had one bedroom in the house that wasn't on the second floor. My parents' house was a high range, so when you enter the house, it's split off to the two floors. One half flight of stairs going upstairs and one downstairs. The downstairs level had the den, the garage, my bedroom, and the bathroom. The other three bedrooms in the house were all upstairs. Since I grew up to the oldest and the only boy in the house with two sisters, I got the room downstairs because it was the biggest and technically the coolest room. After I turned 10 years old, my parents gave me my small bed to my little sisters and I got a full-size bed. The full-size bed was a bit of an upgrade because the room was big enough so it could certainly fit a bigger bed. When I was 12, my little sisters were around 5 and 8. So at this age, I will be allowed home alone, but my 5-year-old sister wouldn't be left alone with me. And my 8-year-old sister will be only one left alone with me if my parents weren't going for too long. If they have been going for too long periods of the day, then one of my parents will take both my sisters. For this short period of time, I like to say 3 nights in a row or maybe a more. I was waking up in the middle of the night for no reason, and I had trouble falling back to sleep. Considering I was 12 years old, I knew I shouldn't have any problem sleeping in the night. I was sleeping with the fan on next to my bed because it was a hot couple of days in the middle of the summer. So I wasn't sure what exactly was waking me up considering the fan provided me a steady white noise. One of these nights, I got up after waking up to refill my glass of water. I went to the bathroom right outside my bedroom. As I was filling up, I thought I heard some noise coming from inside my room. I turned off the faucet and then listened, but now there was nothing, but only the sound of the fan. I walked to the doorway in my bedroom and I couldn't tell what it was, but something was creeping me out about my room now. I went upstairs to the living room and decided to sleep on the couch that night. I fell asleep eventually, but the same night I woke up again, this time to the noises from the kitchen. I saw the glow of the light from the fridge and the sound of someone ramming through it. The way the floor was set up had the kitchen out of your way from the couch in the living room. I couldn't see who there was because I was very sleepy. I heard the fridge door eventually shut. I had a faint memory that the footsteps walking away and went downstairs. I was drowsy, so I went back to sleep. I believe it was the next day that my mom was folding clothes in my room and she told me my room smells. She told me I needed to clean up whatever the smell was. I ignored her because I really didn't smell anything. I wish I didn't ignore her. Though that night I dad put up the AC on because it was simply too hot that day. After we all watched a movie as a family, everyone started getting ready for bed. I went to my room and played video games on my PlayStation for a little while before getting sleepy. By that time, I turned off the TV and the PlayStation and rolled to my side to go to sleep like I always did. Tonight, I didn't have the fan on because the air conditioning was switched on. So there was just the sound of the air blowing out from the vents from the ceiling. I fell asleep, but once I woke up at 3 a.m. I didn't know what the sound I heard was. All I heard was the vent fan blowing cool air. Then when it stopped blowing air, the room was silent and I heard someone breathing, but it wasn't my breath. Though I looked around the room, the closet door was shut, so there was no way it was coming from there. Part of my childlike innocence assumed it was my younger sister playing a prank. I got on the floor and looked. There was one place I couldn't think to look under the bed. I lifted the little piece of cloth that dangled at the bottom of the bed, and there was a very large person laying under the bed on a pile of blankets. His head was facing me, but his eyes were closed. I fell backwards and basically silently walked out of the room, screaming, "Dad!" I heard my parents' door swing open, and my parents yelling and concerning. I pointed into my room and sat under the bed, and my dad went and pulled out this very large, dirty-looking man. I remember my dad quietly, easily, physically forcing the man out as my mom called the cops. I'm sure he went to jail for a while, or maybe not because he was homeless. Who knows? This did a lot of mental damage to me, where I didn't even want to sleep in my own room anymore or let anyone in that house. I had to sleep in the middle of my parents for a while. Then my dad installed security cameras all over the house. We threw outside everything that was open in the fridge because we had no idea what he put his mouth on there. The fear of someone being under my bed stayed for me for a very long time. We'd even know how he was hiding in my bed. This could have been a few days. The smell of the person going to the fridge, the random waking up every night for a few days, whether he meant harm or not, someone hiding under my bed is every child's biggest nightmare.